why great speakers start with their ears. Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to speak English effortlessly? They don't pause constantly, they don't translate every single sentence in their head, and they definitely don't struggle to find the right words. When they speak, the words just flow naturally. Welcome to Learn English Through Stories, the easiest and most enjoyable way to improve your English naturally. Many language learners look at them and think, wow, they must have a special talent. Maybe they have a photographic memory, or maybe they're just naturally gifted. But in reality, the truth is much simpler. They became incredible speakers because they first committed to becoming incredible listeners. Think about how children master their native language. Before they utter their very first word, they spend months just absorbing the sounds around them. Before they construct sentences, they spend years hearing thousands of examples. They absorb the language through their ears first. Listening always comes before speaking. This fundamental rule doesn't change when you learn English. Unfortunately, too many learners focus almost entirely on speaking. They try to force themselves to talk. They stress out over grammar mistakes, and they get incredibly frustrated when they can't express themselves clearly. In doing so, they completely ignore the one skill that makes speaking easy: listening. Your ears are the ultimate gateway to fluency. Every sentence you hear trains your brain. Every conversation unlocks new language patterns. The more high-quality English you take in, the more natural your own speech becomes. Today, we are going to dive into the core strategies that will completely transform the way you learn.
Method 1. Why listening is the foundation of speaking. Imagine trying to build a beautiful house without a foundation. You could have stunning walls, expensive furniture, and a gorgeous roof. But without a solid base, that house will eventually collapse. Speaking English works exactly the same way. Speaking is the house. Listening is the foundation. Without strong listening skills, speaking becomes a slow, painful, and frustrating process. Many learners treat speaking and listening as two separate things, but they are deeply connected. The words that come out of your mouth are simply the echoes of the words you have heard over and over again. Think about your native language. You don't build sentences by analyzing grammar rules in your head. You speak naturally because your brain has already processed those patterns thousands of times. It recognizes them, stores them, and uses them automatically. The exact same thing happens with English. Every time you listen, your brain is actively collecting data, vocabulary, pronunciation, sentence structure, and natural rhythm. Even when you feel like you aren't learning, your brain is working behind the scenes. A tale of two learners. Imagine learner A, who spends 30 minutes every day listening to English conversations, stories, and podcasts. Then imagine learner B, who spends 30 minutes memorizing grammar rules, but rarely listens to actual English. After a few months, the difference is night and day. Learner A starts to understand the language naturally. They catch common expressions and feel the rhythm of native speakers. Learner B might know more rules, but they completely freeze during a real conversation. Why? Because language isn't just about knowledge. Language is about familiarity, and listening builds that familiarity. If you want to speak better, you have to fill your mind first. Think of your mind as a well. You can't draw water from an empty well. Listening fills the well. Speaking draws from it. This is why some learners improve at lightning speed. They bring English into their daily lives. They listen while walking, exercising, commuting, or relaxing. Slowly, the magic happens. Words come faster. Sentences become easier. Speaking feels less stressful, and your confidence skyrockets. Stop forcing yourself to speak perfectly and start letting listening prepare your brain. Don't worry if you don't understand 100% at first. Children don't understand everything either. Focus on consistency, and your speaking will naturally grow alongside your understanding.
Method 2. Train your ears before your mouth. One of the biggest traps learners fall into is trying to train their mouth before they train their ears. They want instant fluency, perfect pronunciation, and absolute confidence right away. But that's not how language works. Before your mouth can produce natural English, your ears must become familiar with the sound of it. Think about music. If someone wants to play the piano, they don't just sit down and play a complex song without ever hearing music before. They listen first. They absorb the rhythm, the melody, and the flow. English is no different. Your ears need to learn the music of the language. If you only study grammar and vocabulary, you will feel frustrated when real conversations happen. Language is sound, rhythm, and passion. Think of your brain as a massive library. Every time you listen to English, you add a new book to the shelves. The larger your library, the easier it is for your brain to find the right words when you need to speak. Over time, sentences like, "How are you doing today?" or "I'll think about it," become single, complete units in your mind. You won't have to build them word by word. Your brain will just grab them from the library automatically. How do you train your ears? It's simple. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Listening for 20 minutes every day is far better than cramming for 3 hours once a week. Your brain thrives on regular exposure. Make English a part of your daily routine. Listen while cleaning, cooking, or relaxing. Pro tip: choose content that you can mostly understand, something just slightly above your current level. This keeps your brain challenged, but not overwhelmed. As your listening improves, you'll start noticing how native speakers connect words, and English will stop feeling like a foreign language. It will start feeling like home. Method 3. Listen for meaning, not every single word. Too many learners believe that if they miss one single word, they have failed. They get frustrated, freeze up, and lose confidence. But this mindset makes listening way harder than it needs to be. When you watch a movie in your native language, do you analyze every single word? No. You focus on the story, the message, and the big picture. You should approach English the exact same way. Your goal is to capture the message, not catch every vocabulary word. If someone says, "Yesterday I was running late, so I grabbed a quick coffee and rushed to work," you don't need to know what grabbed or running late means to understand the point. Your brain can piece it together. Yesterday, coffee, work, hurry. That is successful listening. Even native speakers don't catch every syllable in a noisy room. They just focus on the meaning. Think of listening like a 100-piece puzzle. If 5 pieces are missing, you can still clearly see the picture. Let the unknown words go. If you stop to stress over one word, you will miss the next 3 sentences. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Real conversations happen fast. By focusing on the overall meaning, your brain becomes more flexible, your comprehension speeds up, and your confidence grows. Stop treating listening like a test and start treating it like real communication. Method 4. Experience real English through daily practice. Stop treating English like a dry school subject and start treating it like a living language. Memorizing endless word lists and grammar exercises might help a bit, but it won't make you comfortable using the language. Daily listening shifts you from learning about English to actually experiencing it. Think about the power of regular habits. Small actions create massive results over time. Think about raindrops. 1 drop seems insignificant. 100 drops seem small, but consistent rain can fill entire oceans. Your daily listening sessions are those raindrops. Furthermore, daily listening exposes you to real English, not the formal, stiff sentences found in old textbooks. You learn how real people connect words, use contractions, and express emotions. Phrases like, "to be honest," "I'll figure it out,"
or at the end of the day will become second nature to you. This active training also transforms your pronunciation. By hearing natural stress patterns and connected speech every day, your ears become highly sensitive to the correct sounds, and your own accent will naturally improve. Don't give up if you don't see dramatic changes in a week. Learning a language is like growing a tree. You water it today, and tomorrow it looks the same. But months later, the growth is undeniable. Choose content you actually enjoy, whether it's gripping stories, fascinating interviews, or educational podcasts. If you enjoy it, you will stick with it. You don't become fluent by studying occasionally. You become fluent by surrounding yourself with the language consistently.
Method 5. Copy the rhythm and pronunciation. Fluency isn't just about how many words you know, it's about how you deliver them. Native speakers don't just talk word by word. They create a melody. They stress certain words, pause naturally, and blend sounds together. If you want to sound natural, you need to imitate that rhythm. Try this incredibly powerful exercise. Listen to a short sentence, pause the audio, and repeat it exactly as you heard it. Copy the pauses, copy the emphasis, and copy the energy. It might feel a bit strange at first, but this is exactly how children learn. They hear and they imitate. You don't need to memorize complex phonetic rules. You just need to listen closely and mimic what you hear. This trains your ears and your mouth at the exact same time, building true muscle memory. Method 6. Build a powerful vocabulary through context, advanced expansion. When most people try to learn vocabulary, they rely on memorization. They open a dictionary, write down definitions, and hope repetition will make the words stick. But the truth is, your brain is not designed to remember isolated information. It is designed to remember meaningful experiences. That's why context changes everything. When you hear a word inside a real conversation or a story, your brain doesn't just store the definition, it stores the situation, emotion, tone, and intention behind it. This creates multiple memory connections instead of just one, and the more connections a word has, the harder it is to forget. Take the word opportunity. On paper, it's just a definition, but in real life, it becomes alive. This job is a great opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity to travel. This could be your only opportunity to change your life. Now the word is no longer vocabulary, it becomes experience. Here's the deeper strategy most learners miss. You don't need to force repetition. If you consume the right kind of input, repetition happens naturally. High-frequency words appear again and again in daily conversations, podcasts, and stories. This is what we call natural spaced repetition, and it is far more powerful than memorizing word lists. Even more important, learning vocabulary through context helps you understand how words are actually used, not just what they mean. Build intuition for collocations, natural word combinations. Avoid textbook English and move toward real, natural communication. Stop chasing rare, complicated words. Start mastering the words that native speakers use every single day. Because fluency is not about knowing more words, it's about knowing the right words deeply. Method 7. Create your ultimate listening routine. Most learners don't fail because they lack intelligence. They fail because they lack consistency. They study intensely for 1 or 2 days, then disappear for a week. They rely on motivation, but motivation is unpredictable. Here's the truth. Fluency is not built on motivation. It is built on systems. Think of language learning like going to the gym. One long workout won't change your body, but small, consistent sessions will transform you over time. That's why your listening routine must be Simple. Easy to start. Predictable. Same time every day. Sustainable. Fits your real life. Instead of asking, "When should I study?" decide, "I always listen at this exact moment." For example, during breakfast, passive listening. During commuting, focused listening. Before bed, relaxed listening. The key is to attach English to an existing habit. This removes friction and turns learning into something automatic. Here's the deeper insight. Every 20-minute session may feel small, almost insignificant, but over time, these sessions compound. 20 minutes a day equals 600 minutes a month, equals 7,200 minutes a year. That's 120 hours of listening exposure without burnout. And each session is like laying one brick. Individually, they seem small, but together, they build the foundation of a completely new version of you. Consistency doesn't feel powerful in the moment, but it is the most powerful force in language learning. Method 8. Unlock your future fluent self. Most learners are searching for a secret. They look for the fastest method, the perfect course, the ultimate shortcut. But here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no shortcut to fluency, but there is a direct path. And that path starts with one simple shift. Stop trying to become a great speaker first. Start by becoming an exceptional listener. Because speaking is not a separate skill. It is the result of everything you have absorbed. Think about it. You cannot say what you have never heard. You cannot use structures your brain has never internalized. You cannot sound natural if your input is unnatural. Listening is not passive. It is training your brain to recognize patterns, rhythm, and meaning at high speed. And here's the breakthrough most people never realize. When you listen enough, something changes. You stop translating in your head. You start predicting what comes next. You begin to feel what sounds right. This is the moment when English stops being a subject and starts becoming a part of you. Your future fluent self is not created in one breakthrough moment. It is built quietly, day after day, through thousands of listening experiences. So stop searching for magic. The secret has always been simple. The more deeply you listen, the more powerfully you will speak. Every single minute you spend listening is actively building the fluent, confident English speaker you are meant to become. Trust the process, enjoy the journey, and let the language wash over you. Your ears know the way, so start listening, keep pushing forward, and watch your English transform. If you want to speak English with confidence, start by training your ears first. Hit the subscribe button and join Learn English Through Stories, where listening transforms into speaking. New videos every week to help you level up your English step by step.